Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. Big news for football today in terms of LSU. They add a new member of their secondary via the transfer portal, and that is in the way of Andre Sam. Sam spent time at McNeese State. I get the Southland schools so confused all the time. He was at McNeese State with Frank Wilson, ended up transferring to Marshall, where he's been a very, very solid player for the Thundering Herd. He's going to play his final year of eligibility back home as an LSU Tiger. He's a product of Iowa, Louisiana, over there in southwest Louisiana. Was an incredible athlete at Iowa. He was all-state. He was a wide receiver, kick returner. He ran track, long jump. He was a 4x100, 4x200 relay guy, and then went to McNeese and was a really solid player for them and worked his way up and became a really, really solid player at Marshall. When I turn the film on of him at Marshall, a couple things stand out. He is not afraid to tackle at all. He loves to tackle, and then he loves to tell you about how he loves to tackle. The guy plays with a ton of emotion, and to me, I'm not qualified, really, to break down the attributes of secondary guys as it pertains to the FCS level and then Conference USA and then the SEC. Like, I could try, and I could be like, yeah, he's, reasonable size, a little bit undersized for a safety, runs pretty good. Like, I could try, but it's not what I'm best at. Here's what I feel pretty good about telling you about Andre Sam. Andre Sam plays with a ton of emotion when he's playing against Rice for Marshall. I think that guy is going to be flying around with the effort and intensity of a crazy person when he puts on LSU's uniform in Tiger Stadium. And that's not everything. It's not. There are plenty of guys who went to high school in this state who aren't good enough, even at playing their hardest, to play at LSU. And I don't know if Andre Sam can or not. He's going to play hard, and he's going to be fired up doing it. That I can promise you. He's got a relationship with Frank Wilson. They know the player. They know the character of the player. And he enters a room at safety that is low on depth. Major Burns coming back is really good. He's had a nice go at LSU. When he's been healthy, he's really played well. Greg Brooks is back. That's a guy who can play safety, and I think they'll ask him to some. He can move up and play some of the nickel and dime roles as well. Veteran, ton of SEC football. Feel good about that. Sage Ryan is versatile in that way, can play in the slot, can play at safety. I don't think either one of those guys is your prototype at safety, but can do it. Javian Toviano is fascinating to me coming in as a freshman. He early enrolled. He's got a big frame. He's not a speed demon, but he's a savvy, instinctive defensive player and can probably play nickel, dime, or safety. So that's three of those kind of hybrids with Brooks, Toviano, and Ryan. You still got Jordan Allen here. You still got Kylan Jackson, who's coming in as a very highly thought of recruit. Ryan Yates, same way. But Sam, to me, kind of fits in that mold of Brooks and Toviano and Ryan, where he's not 6'2", 215 Mack truck. He's not Chad Jones. He's not Eric Reed. He's not Jamal Adams. But he's athletic and not afraid in the least to stick his nose in there and knock somebody off their cleats. And so LSU's going to have to find a way to make this work in the secondary with the bodies that they have. And I think there is talent. I mean, Burns is a proven player. Brooks is a proven player. Toviano is a highly regarded recruit. Sage Ryan was a 5-star. Jordan Allen has been in the program a couple of years. Kylan Jackson's got big size and is physical. Ryan Yates, same way. So it's not short on, like, talent. It's short on stars. I think Andre Sam can help. And in this age where everybody's spreading the field and you're going to face 4 and 5 wides a lot, having a supply of 6'1", 200 guys that can run and tackle is a necessity. And when I was thinking about this roster exiting the spring, because you start thinking about the transfer portal and where might they add somebody here or there, like I think linebacker was one where you're looking at, okay, maybe that makes sense if they do. I personally, even though I didn't even know who Logan Diggs was looking at the running back spot and being like, I'd really like to add a top-end talent there, which they did. And I don't know that I paid enough attention to safety. Maybe it's because Burns back, Brooks is back, and I know Toviano, right? But you start to think about it, you go, well, they may be short there. Because injuries happen, and depth is a necessity. And I think Andre Sam is going to work out. Again, I teased the segment saying maybe he's a starter. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Maybe he covers kicks. He's a reserve to some of these guys. He plays in some fourth quarters of some games that are blowouts early. And if you need depth, he can add it. Maybe he's a starter. It's just tough for me to sit here and translate the fact that he made 50-plus tackles at Marshall and broke up 6-7 passes and had a highlight tape where he was all fired up. I could sit here and convictedly tell you this guy can do it. If you look at a guy who can make it happen in Conference USA and can make it happen in the SEC, this is what it looks like. I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. Beats Charlie's empty chair theory with the basketball program. If you're not familiar, Charles Hannegriff would always say, look, we've had a couple basketball coaches around here that didn't like recruiting, and all of a sudden you look and you've got an extra scholarship. You got an empty chair there. Empty chair can't guard anybody. LSU's not at 85 scholarships yet. Empty scholarship ain't going to cover anybody or tackle. They're not going to cover kicks. They're not going to play nickel. They're not going to play safety. Empty scholarship doing nothing. Guy in his last year of eligibility, got room. Louisiana kid, wants to be here, fired up, maybe position of need. Have at it. Sounds good to me. He may not play a defensive snap all year. He may be the starter opposite Burns against Florida State. But it sounds like a good roster play to me. I don't think you're squeezing anybody out. This is not like the 25-man signing limit that existed previously where you really had to decide if you were going to offer that spot because you may be wedging somebody out. They're not wedging anybody out here. They don't have 85 guys. They hadn't gotten there yet. It's been a slow build, steady build. They're far closer than they were when Brian Kelly took the job. They're far closer than they were when they walked off the field against half of Purdue's team. I think it's a good fit for Andre Sam to come in. He seems excited to do it. They know the kid. It's not taking a chance on a background that's not quality. It's a Louisiana boy that wants to be here. I'm in. So your safety room looks like Major Burns, Greg Brooks, Javian Toviano, Sage Ryan, Jordan Allen, Colin Jackson, Ryan Yates. Now, you might not have to thrust some of those young players in, and you have a buffer. And if the young kids blow through the buffer and you got to get Colin Jackson on the field, well, he's won his way onto the field. It's not a necessity thing, which is what you run into when it creates a big problem, especially at the top of college football. You get guys who aren't ready to play that are having to play. This guy's a sixth-year player. He'll be ready to roll. So Andre Sam commits to LSU as a safety from McNeese and then Marshall. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.